Welcome again, everyone, to our Michigan Trails Report. I'm your host, Tom Funk, author of 50 Hikes in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, 50 Hikes on the North Country Trail, and you'll see me stalking and creeping around on various Facebook pages having to do with hiking. This is brought to you weekly, and our sponsor for the week is none other than our usual sponsor we've been having quite a bit recently, Gateway to Pictured Rocks Lodge. Located smack dab in the middle of the eastern UP, it is less than an hour from both ends of Pictured Rocks. Now accepting reservations for summer. Lick your finger and write this down on something with a lot of dust on it, like your LCD TV set. VRBO.com 980-761. And I'd like to thank my friend Adam Main, as usual, for providing the music. He is a local musician in Kalamazoo, Michigan. So thank you, Adam. Hey, I wonder if he even listens. I tell him about this podcast, but yeah, he's a busy guy. So we'll cut him some slack. All right, so let's get this underway. Trail of the Week. We always start with Trail of the Week, and we have come to another segment of the North Country Trail. And I actually created a bunch of mini planners for the North Country Trail and posted them on the Michigan Hiking and Backpacking page. You just go to the Files section and scroll, and you'll see, it'll say something like NCT Planner. And this week, hiking the North Country Trail through Kalamazoo and Calhoun counties. It's about 30 miles, and it's 3 days, 2 nights if you wanted to make it into a backpacking adventure, which is doable with some planning. So I know we like to hike in Pictured Rocks and wild spaces, wild places, things like that, but hey, a wilderness area we all know is much more preferable than a downtown cityscape. But the beauty of the North Country Trail is that it does not isolate you from the landscape. You get to see, every kind of landscape use possible out there. So that's what kind of sets the North Country Trail apart is, walking through downtown Battle Creek, and that's what you'll end up doing. So what you can do is you can start at the Kalamazoo County line, and there's actually a small little parking spot near there. And then you hike towards Battle Creek. You can actually camp at Fort Custer Recreation Area, which is mile marker 1058.5 last I checked, and it's a 1 mile hike to the campground. You can then also spend a night in downtown Battle Creek at a hotel. And then you would end at the County Bridge Park, mile marker 1078. You can spot a car, you can use Lyft, you can use a local limousine service like Mosaic out of Battle Creek. And it's a decent hike. I've done it. I didn't backpack it, but I hiked from the county line all the way to the other side of Battle Creek one day, and that was a nice long day. So bring your fishing pole, as the Augusta Creek is a trout stream, and you'll be hiking right across it. And you'll also cross the Battle Creek and Kalamazoo rivers. And for those of you that have the guidebook, that is trail number 21 in the 50 Hikes on the North Country Trail guidebook. So there you go. Trail conditions. Multiple reports still rolling in about the southern lower being mushy, muddy, just generally icky. And again, it's freeze and thaw time of year, and it seems to be going on longer than usual. And so is the maple syrup. I'm still seeing friends making maple syrup out there. So it's been a good season for that. Not such a great season for hiking on trails. And again, hike in the morning when the ground's still frozen, and avoid letting the trail heat up and warm up and then turn into mush. As far as snow, again, I posted maps on the Facebook page. And although the southern lower peninsula reached some snow over the weekend, it will likely be gone soon if it isn't already. The only real deep snow left in the lower peninsula, again, Gaylord, Kalkaska, Grayling area. In the upper peninsula, they're still holding up. although the snow is thin, still south of Marquette towards Escanaba. I've been seeing a lot of photos from snowmobile clubs. Their machines have been getting stuck. They've been going off the trail. They're throwing brush on the trail to maintain it. It's doable, they say. It's not the best condition, but it is still holding up. And hey, the weather forecast up there is going to allow that snow to linger some. And we will, again, talk about the weather report here in a little bit. Let's see. North Country Trail updates. I've been mentioning no potable water at Myers Castle until further notice, and I found out about that significant route detour west of Marshall. They're closing sections of 13 Mile Road and C Drive north. And so the road walk will now follow 12 Mile Road and A Drive north. So follow this route until wayfinding markers can be completed. And you know, I see a lot of people hiking that. I read about it all the time. I see it on the North Country Trail pages and stuff like that. So, you know, people are trying to section hike the trail, and if you're gonna hike the whole thing, you're gonna have a few road walks in there, and that is one I see, you know, on a regular basis. All right, let's talk about gear. Hiking poles. Do you use them? Or are you like me and find the nearest stick that looks up to the job? I found Gear Labs reviews of trekking poles for 2023, and while poking around, I found a tidbit on how to discern between men's and women's poles. Now, I found that odd because when I did my stint at Cabela's working part-time, I never had a customer ask me for a men's pole or a woman's pole. We didn't have gender-based poles, but we did have different lengths and handle sizes. So, in Gearhead, they said, why do they need to be gendered in the first place? Real talk, they don't. Women's specific trekking poles are designed to work for people who are shorter and have smaller hands. Men's poles are designed for taller people who have bigger hands. You may have big hands, you may have small hands, maybe tall, maybe short. Doesn't matter. You pick the pole that works for you. So find one that fits. Talk to an outfitter at any of your favorite outdoor stores, and try them out. So, there you go. So I'll post a link on the Michigan Trails Report Facebook page. Check it out. Lots of good information about hiking poles there. Hey, I added a new segment. I probably need a sound for that, but I'm running low on sounds here anyways. But hey, how about cool YouTube video? So as you may be aware, we have a YouTube page that has hiking videos and tutorials. In fact, I just posted a new tutorial on the difference between black flies and stable flies. And I'll give you the link at the end of the podcast. But how about I quit tooting my own horn and recommend another page? You ever heard of Shugmery? And that is at Shugmery, which is Shugmery. He has 110,000 subscribers, and Shug is a juggler by trade and an avid backpacker with some very cool videos, and he presents them with a great sense of humor. But be ready, I think he doesn't work in the winter, so when you watch his videos, you're going to see a lot of his outdoor adventures taking place in the late fall and in the winter. And you can find a link to his YouTube page at my YouTube page. Just look under my subscriptions tab, but if you want to write it down, Shugmery, Shugmery, highly recommend it. It's good entertainment. Ooh, we haven't had a hiker trash in a while, and I didn't have to look very far to find that Bunny McMuffin has ramped up her offerings of leading hikes. Bunny is an active member and I believe a moderator on the Michigan Hiking and Backpacking group page. And folks are always posting on these pages, hey, I'm going on a hike. If you want, join me. Which is cool, but Bunny takes the time to organize these as events. And rumor has it, there's usually food involved afterwards. So let's thank Bunny for stepping up and leading hikes. You'll see them on the Michigan Hiking and Backpacking group page. And I also want to thank Tammy Krems for taking some photos for me while she was at the Quiet Water Symposium. I have posted them on the Michigan Trails Report Facebook page. My favorite is with her, Mark Tangen, and Jim Dufresne. Thanks, Tammy. I wish I could have been there. But hey, I appreciate what you did. And I still see plenty of folks working on the North Country Trail badge. I'm seeing people crack 50 miles. The only one I'm still aware of still is Mike Trailhawk Dunn. And hopefully we'll start seeing some people crack 100 miles here in the next few months. Ooh, in time for in search of segment on wildlife and finding it in the while you're out on hikes. And I mentioned black flies a little earlier, and sable flies. And typically these are organisms you're not looking to encounter. And you can check out the YouTube video I made. So instead of telling you about them, I want to tell you about mosquitoes. Hey, how many mosquitoes do you think we have in Michigan? How many species? 1, 2, 70, 2,000? There are at least 50. I've seen as high as 65 different species of mosquitoes in the state of Michigan. And they can be broken down by season and habitat. There are mosquitoes that live in permanent water, temporary floodwaters, and those that live in vegetation. And the worst ones are the summer floodwater mosquitoes, which we will have one generation after another until the water dries up. So those are the ones we notice the most during a bad mosquito year in the middle of summer when it just won't stop raining and won't dry out. Peak mosquito season up north is the first 2 weeks of June. However, if you get a heavy frost or freeze at the end of May, beginning of June, that typically kills them off and you experience a mild season. But if the snowmelt lingers and it keeps on raining, they will perpetuate until it dries out. Just go to the Upper Peninsula and ask folks what they thought of I believe it was the 2009 spring season. It was awful. So, mosquitoes, critters that like to give us a hard time, and there's a little bit of information about it that you probably didn't know before you listened to me. All right, this week in Michigan Facebook pages and all our cool events. Still not too much stuff out there. The winter stuff is pretty much ended. I'm starting to see some spring stuff. Michigan Hiking and Backpacking, Saturday, March 11th. Let's see, this is a group hike at the Ledges. And hey, it's by Bunny McMuffin. How about that? And again, go to the pages, check out the events tabs, and get the gory details. I'm just kind of skimming through them. The McConaughey up in the far western Upper Peninsula. Wednesday night, Black River Harbor full moon hike, and that is March 8th. Chief Noonday is having their Potawatomi hike, which is a hike to Chief Noonday's grave, and that is on Saturday, March 11th. Spear of the Woods monthly hike. North Country Trail on April 1st, leaving from the trailhead on 76th Street and hiking south. Marquette area North Country Trail, doggone it, they had another hike and I didn't see anything in my email. I don't think I'm just getting their emails at all or not in time, but I do see them post them on Facebook. Looks like they're having some great hikes. So, maybe, if you want to find out what's going on in Marquette, you may have to join them as a member, because I'm finding about their hikes after they happen. Grand Traverse County Hiking Club, monthly hike still going on, Thursday, March 16th. Let's see, the Bob Beast chapter has an Earth Day hike on Saturday, April 22nd. And let's see, Jordan 45 chapter, Saturday, March 18th. They're hiking the North Country Trail. Looks like they're hiking the Jordan Valley Hatchery to M32 and the Warner Creek Trail. Let's see, Hiawatha, Shore to Shore, my favorite chapter. On the east end of the UP, they go from the mouth of the Two-Hearted all the way down to the Mackinac Bridge. They have a Northern Lake snow hike, and it is on Saturday, March the 11th. I saw a request for Trail Angels, so go out there and check it out. Don't recall off the top of my head. It looks like I didn't write a note down exactly what the gentleman was looking for, but there is a request on the Trail Angels page. So if you live along the North Country Trail and you're willing to help out hikers, please join that page and, help a hiker out. Uber hiker Gail Lowe's class still has room in it. March 16th, 23rd, and 30th. It's a 3-day class. This will be held in Hastings, Michigan. Information on the Facebook page. And Quiet Adventure Symposium is in the books, and looks like everybody had a great time. Saw a lot of postings online from the various hiking clubs and organizations. Saw a lot of familiar faces. Sorry you couldn't be there. We'll see about next year. But it looks like a great event. And some people who go to Quiet Waters will be going to Canoecopia this coming weekend, March 10th through the 12th, Madison, Wisconsin. So if you've never been to that, it's an awesome event. If you go, I want you to attend the session on surviving a grizzly bear attack in the Canadian tundra and tell us all about it, because that sounds like a fun one. So Canoecopia, check that out. Hey, it's time for the reservation report, brought to you by MichiganTrailMaps.com. High quality maps, many of your hiking trails like pictured rocks and downloadable maps and books like mine on hiking in the state of Michigan. Pictured Rocks reservation system, of course, is open, and you can book to the end of the calendar year. Memorial Day weekend, it's booked. However, if you wanted to start Sunday night, Lowney Creek still has a few sites open. So if you want to start then and you're going, there's plenty of room during the week. Sunday, July 2nd is a busy day. There's still 22 of the 63 possible sites. So after Independence Day weekend, plenty of availability with the exception of some Chapel Mosquito sites, as those are pretty popular for camping. Hurricane, same situation. You're going to have to book way out in advance. There's really nothing after the 22nd of June up to the 6-month point. And remember, reservations open at 10 a.m. on recreation.gov for that. And they do open up reservations at, I think, 2 weeks and 4 weeks out to help, the folks that want to do some late planning. And 12 Mile Beach, same thing. It's pretty much booked solid after the beginning of June, all the way to the 6-month out date. So keep that in mind if you're wanting to camp at those campgrounds. Grand Island, I saw a few more sites become full over Memorial Day weekend. There's still a whole bunch of sites that are temporarily first come, first served due to a prescribed burn, which snow's got to melt, it's got to dry out a little bit. You're probably looking at April or May before that takes place. So I don't think it's really going to impact us in the spring. You never know, though. But keep that in mind. So there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 campgrounds that have all their campsites left there. So, and the others, some are fully booked. Some only have like one day that's booked. So remember, once Pictured Rocks fills, people spill over into Grand Island. I'm kind of surprised that hasn't happened yet, but it may be more of a late arrival type of thing as folks, roll into town and they can't get a, reservation at Pictured Rocks and they say, hey, go to Grand Island. It may be kind of one of those situations. But hey, if you're planning on going to Grand Island, get your reservations in. Bay Furnace is that popular campground to the west of Munising that folks like to camp at before jumping off the Pictured Rocks and other places. After June 23rd, limited availability, but they do have walk-up sites, so keep that in mind. And all of this information for the federal permits and campgrounds and campsites is available on recreation.gov, and they also have an app. And both were working this week, so how about that? State Park Campgrounds, MIDNRreservations.com. I randomly picked another campground. I picked Orchard Beach in Manistee. Campground's full, but there are some cabins available. And backcountry camping, still looking good. Porcupine Mountains, Craig Lake State Park. I'm kind of surprised that those have stayed as available as they have. Plenty of availability, so keep that in mind. Skipping ahead to Isle Royal. Isle Royal Ranger, no full dates as of yet. Isle Royal Queen, all Sundays inbound and outbound in June are full. 1/3 of the outbound dates are full in June. June is filling up. So if you're thinking of going in June, you want to get on it. There's a few days in July and August that are full and several that are running low. So again, isleroyal.com is the website to make reservations. They have a very easy to use reservation system. And again, Isle Royal Lodges, Trading Post, Tours, Food Service starts June 8th on Isle Royal. And keep that in mind if you're going to go onto the island in late May and expect to get a beer at the lodge. Not going to happen. All right, time for the weather forecast. Marquette, the majority of the next 10 days will be below freezing, so the snow will live on. So if you want to see snow, you got to head to the UP. Some light snow in the forecast earlier this week, then looks dry. I know the clubs up there for the snowmobilers really want to see some fresh snow up there. Grand Rapids, hey, did you guys have another ice storm? How about all that wet snow? Well, the highs will be above freezing and the lows below freezing, and looks like no accumulating snow in the forecast, and a lot of that snow is going to melt. And up by Grayling, similar forecast, a few days where it gets above freezing, but most of the time it will be below 32. So if you like to ski, get up there, especially at a resort. They're still cranking out snow for the slopes. All right. Hey, I hear bumper music. Again, thanks Adam Main for providing the music. Appreciate it. Hey, I created a one-stop shop webpage for all the various social media and shenanigans associated with my goings-on. No more looking for that pen that works. No more writing in the fog on your bathroom mirror. Just remember this. TomFunke.net. That's TomFunke.net. Yep, that's it. One page. That's all you have to remember. And it has everything you need to know. Just scroll down and click on what you're interested in. And the other thing you need to do right now, while you're listening to this very soothing music, is click the follow button. If you don't, I'm going to cancel your REI membership. Mark my words. And keep in mind, if you subscribe, you get the podcast the moment it was released versus me posting on social media when I get around to it. Again, thanks to our sponsor, Gateway to Pictured Rocks. Quote to end the show, brute animals are the most healthy and they are exposed to all weather, and of men, those are healthiest who are the most exposed. And that comes from, of all people, Thomas Jefferson. All right, thanks for joining us. Don't forget the website, TomFunke.net. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week.